Hey, good morning, everybody. This is the professor with Day Trading for Success. We've got a pretty big crowd here today. Charlie, she's arranged for some students from outside the country to trade with us. With that in mind, it was voted we're going to go very low share size today. So that should be exciting. Our goal is to make a couple $100, and we're going to be trading a range-bound strategy. So stick around. This should be fun.
Welcome to Day Trading for Success, hosted by the Professor of Professional Trader, former math teacher, now focused on engineering advanced systems for trading firms with algorithmic modeling and AI-powered tools, using forward-looking strategies and indicators designed to uncover high-probability opportunities. The professor isn't a licensed financial advisor. Always consult a pro before diving into any strategies or demos you see here. Start smart, practice in a simulator, stick to a solid day trading plan, and don't forget to log every trade. Your profits will start with preparation. Thank you for allowing us to share in your journey. Please remember to subscribe, comment, give a thumbs up, and click that notification bell so you can be the first to receive more of our great content.
Okay, welcome back, everybody. So this is the layout we just worked out together. Everybody kind of built it together this morning. So we've been here a little while. We have a lot of the platforms couldn't operate. A lot of the same platform, Thinkorswim, but they were having trouble operating with the speed of having a lot of indicators, so custom indicators. So we pared it down to the RV layout, which is kind of important for a quick setup with the different charts reduced, which we'll go over in a minute. But then also what I feel is the bare minimum you should now have to trade with a leg up using the, and when I say AI indicators, I'm meaning that the coding to develop a lot of these custom indicators for Thinkorswim had AI help. So, but the idea is that it's based on, the same thing all indicators are based on is basically different crossovers, whether it be relative strength, whether it be the moving averages, whether it be historical data. Having the code read these things for you so you don't have to try to decipher what's happening so much in front of you. Although if you're a pro trader, you probably don't need a lot of these indicators because you know this stuff. But with the indicators that are here, and I'll have a link to them, the different ones, they just have arrows and alarms and stuff. They just make it so easy. But I will be talking through why I take every trade and what this strategy is. So we're going to go into that right now. And the strategy basically starts at half hour after market open. We are on the New York Stock Exchange on the East Coast of the United States. Okay. Now, the whole purpose of this channel is to try to teach people to make a living as safely as possible by day trading, because day trading can be really dangerous. And with that in mind, you should always have a maximum loss per trade and a maximum loss per day. And I would say that if you have 3 bad trades in a row, you should just call it a day because you're not calling them right. But we believe that with a little bit of practice in a simulator before you trade with real funds, you can learn to day trade. It's the 95% that fail don't have the right tools, don't practice in a simulator, and don't follow their own rules. And then the other lucky people who stick with it and learn it, I don't want to say it's easy. I'm going to say it's not rocket science, though. So as with anything, there's a learning curve, and you have to apply yourself and be very mindful of losses and keep your losses very low as you learn, because it can take many years to pick it up. And usually what we're fighting against is our own mind, because we want to change the parameters. We believe we can talk the trade into working for us, whatever. We are not trained for the way the market works and how unforgiving it is. So you just have to be prepared that every trade could go against you. No matter how many cool indicators you have and tools you have, no matter how the strategy has been proven to make millions of dollars for people. And we have one of these strategies today. So let me go over what this is. So this is the RV strategy, and this big mess won't be. It's not a really big mess when we trade, but the RV strategy is based on a range. So you find a range that you expect the stock to move in between, high and low, move in between. We do that with the ATR. So we call it the average. The average true range is the ATR. And how you get that set up is you will open up a day chart here, and then you will look at the close of the previous day, and you look at the ATR down here, which is the average true range of the price action over the last 14 days. So it's like hover over that candle, $7.69. You divide that number in two, you subtract half of it to get a low range, and you add the other half to get the high range from the close. Now, there is an indicator that does that for you. We don't have it on right now. We just marked it off and took it off for the speed of everybody else's platforms. But this is the range we expect this price action to move inside. It's high and it's low. And then what we do is, according to the strategy, is you would open up and pull out Fibonacci levels. So Fibonacci, some people call it nature's mathematical formula. You look at either the low to the high or the high to the low. In this case, this is a 5-minute 10-day back, and we found those levels. We snapped it there, dragged it down, snapped it here, and then these levels filled in. We will look at these as support and resistances in between our trading range. There's only one right there, right? And then we did it again on a 2-day 5-minute chart, and you can see here that a bunch more opened up. So there is a way to rate the RV strategy to see how good a stock you have, how successful you think you should be by trading the stock, and having this many levels in between as support and resistance levels in between our high and a low is amazingly good, because we're going to want to respect these levels, for the most part, until you don't. And then the other thing the strategy says is you go to a 4-hour chart first, then a 1 hour, then a 15-minute and a 5-minute, and you mark historical data within between the levels. So we've got our levels here, and we can see the RV strategy has a rating system in the book that I should be saying where these are. Day Trading Volume 1. It's called Volume 1 for a reason. Everybody pretty much has it on their desk. But it is a large cap trading strategy that swept the world. And, it's a very, if it's followed, it's pretty easy to turn a profit. Again, max loss, because everything can go against you. Make sure you get out. I don't want to diminish how people are there's a lot of people that are struggling. And that's just going to happen with anything, and it's going to take longer. And often those are the best traders ever when they finally get it, because they learn the hard way. They have to figure out, like me, the way I learn is I don't like to be told what to do. I discover things all on my own, and then somebody will tell me later, hey, they wrote a book about that, man. I'm just like, well, that probably would have saved me a lot of time, but I came across it myself. And then, of course, when you're taking that journey of discovery of something that you've learned, you've basically seen all the minutia, all the little mechanics of how you got to that lesson, and then you really know it. So often with people that struggle with a strategy, when they finally get it, they know it better than the people that just followed the book exactly and did what it said to do. And they learn the hard way, but they learn, and often it's a better way. I'm not trying to wish struggling on you, but so I'm a teacher, so I know how that works with different students, how different students learn. And you can't, what I'm trying to say is don't be too hard on yourself. If you're struggling, you might be the best trader out there still yet to come. So it just takes time, guys. Stick with it. You can do it. But keep your losses low and trade in a simulator first until you feel really comfortable. So the strategy says start with a 4-hour stock to mark historical data, then 4-hour chart, and then go to a 1-hour chart if there's not enough channels. What you're trying to do is create channels here: ceiling, floor, right? Floor, ceiling, floor, ceiling, ceiling, floor. These are channels, right? In between those channels is a price, right? You can add up the price in between. How big is that channel? And the way that the RV strategy works is you're trying to you set your share size based on the channels. So we're trying to get channels between 25 cents and 50 cents. And if smaller is not the end of the world if it's smaller, so that we could traverse the width of the channel, knowing that, we weren't in a lot of fear. If it broke the wrong way through a floor or up through a ceiling, if you're going short or long, it's time to get out even if you haven't hit max loss, unless indicators are telling you it's just about to turn around. So just things to think about when you're doing this. But so what you see here is you see where the price action has abruptly turned around. See that there? See this here? Came up, tap, turned around. Here, tap, turned around. Some are bodies, some are wicks. So we have Fibonacci levels, and then we have historical data. A 1 hour chart gave us more levels. Should have actually caught that level too right there. I didn't even see that. But so now we have a lot of levels, and then we followed the strategy. It rated pretty high. I think we got a 7 on the rating in the book, from the book's ratings. Let me just get this stuff zoomed in so we're ready to trade here a little bit here. Now I'll go over with you a little bit about what this layout is. So this is a 1 minute chart. This is the scalping indicator, which is really, really important. If you can only get one indicator, afford one indicator, get this indicator right. This is your active trader. This is the level 2. This is a 15-minute chart. This is a 5-minute chart. Then this has the multi-chart alignment. This is telling you what a 5-minute, 15-minute, 30-minute, 1 hour, and 4 hour time increments. What does their price action look at? 15 minutes are still saying it's going up. 30 minutes says down. 1 and 4 hours says go up. Remember, you want to trade with the crowd, and you're not trying to be an outlier. You're not trying to prove something like I know best. Maybe you do, and we should follow you, and you lead the crowd. You're like when you see at the aquarium, see all the fish going one way, and then you start to move your hand along. If you've seen some of those glass tanks, and you start to walk along, one fish will start to follow you. Before long, the whole fish are going the other way. I've done it myself. I enjoy it. I'm doing that. But so you may be that outlier that's going the other way, and everybody starts to follow you. But let's assume you're not, and you're normal. You want to trade with the crowd. That's the advantage we have. What is everybody doing? Jump on that wave of what they're doing, and then get off quickly. So you look in day trading, we're looking for short-term trends. So if we can have a strategy that backs that up along with indicators, we're going to really get a leg up. And down here's the other 5-minute chart that's on 2-day. Then I have a 1 hour and the 4 hour down here. Now these are all here just to set this strategy up quicker. You don't have to have all these charts, especially if they slow down. The internet isn't as good where these guys are. So we really had to work on this to make sure that everybody could have the right speed. We have the market magnet in here, which is amazing. This is set for large cap. So the 50% volume since market open is marked in these green arrows and red arrows, and they kind of tell you that you should think about turning around when you hit these arrows. Then this is the mean center of that volume, the magenta line. And often these bars are people that have just traded. Now everything on an indicator, remember guys, is past data. So you read it to see the future. It doesn't tell you the future except by its past data. That's how AI works too. When you ask it a question, it's using past data to answer that question. So that's how everything works, right? You don't have a crystal ball. But if you have the right indicators and you practice, it's almost like a crystal ball because you can call these right more accurately than not. So we have, besides the market. So if these blue bars come in below the magenta line, it usually means it's going to pull it down, and then above, it usually means it's going to pull it up. Usually is not always. Remember that. You have these red arrows, and green arrows, which are the buy-sell oscillator, which is using EMA to tell you whether or not it should go up or down. And the MACD is often RSI readings. This is the MACD. So this said it was going to go up, and it went up. This said it was going to go down, it was going to go down. The arrows told you. This one, however, was wrong. Said up, it went up briefly, then went down. And then here's another one, MACD saying it's going to go up, oscillator saying it's going to go down before it went up. And they're conflicting right here. And then MACD says it's going down. So these are extremely helpful, and there's alarms that go off. Now I have a large crowd up here trading with me on Zoom, and I'm going to be doing what they call quarterbacking, and that is calling the trades as I see them. I'm going to try to explain what I see when I see them, and we're just going for a few $100s today, guys, enough to make a living, right? That's $1,000 a week. For a lot of people, that's enough. Certainly, you could quit the second job, and maybe we'll get more. But you start small. Try to get $50 a day, and then maybe $100 a day, and sort of work your way up over time. And you may want to try the open strategy, day trading volume 4. That's a lot of exciting. that's a lot of excitement. A lot of people trade the open for some quick money, and it's good to have guidelines like the open is based on breakouts. All right, so you're not range bound like I'm showing you here. So that's on Day Trading Volume 4. I'll have a link to that. Remember, learning individual patterns, so important. Like here's a bull flag that formed here, barely, maybe not quite, but said this was going to go up. There's the pole, there's the flag. If it goes more than halfway down the pole, which it probably did with that spike, but at the body, it called out a perfect bull flag saying it was going to go up the length of the pole, and it looks like that's what's happening here right now. So we have about a minute, a little over a minute before I start to call the trades. We will be trading 100 shares, like I said, of Apple. I'll be using market. I don't expect much slippage. The spread between is a penny to 2 pennies. I will be using reverse, so that's a more advanced way to trade. So I would worry about doing that unless you're used to it. Hey everyone, this is the Professor for Day Trading for Success. I get asked a lot for videos I have already made, so I wanted to go over how YouTube channel works, how our YouTube channels work, so you can find the videos I've already made. The opening screen should look something like this, and then you should have one video that's sort of promoting the whole channel when you go to YouTube channels. This is going to be videos based on your viewing history that they might recommend. These are the shorts. I steal my shorts from the $1 Million Margin Club because I love playing the John Bull Bear game. And then these are going to be the videos in the order, and then my only affiliate link. And then up here you can click right on the videos, and you can have your choice of going the latest, the most popular, or the oldest, and you can scan down, and they'll all be there by order of that order. And then there's the shorts I talked about, and the latest thing we have on here is a playlist. But another way to find videos is like if you type in the episode EP 287. If I type that in right there, that's going to take me to one of the most popular videos right there. So, but let's go ahead and take a look at this. So that's how else you can find things. But go to the playlist. You can see just the teams just made one, the 15 most shocking videos. But basically videos you're going to want to watch. So if you go down to these are all the playlists. I have a lot of them. Every season, and then other specific ones. Go view full playlist. This will have them all. Like the Bohemian student said, they really didn't catch on to trading until they started to watch all the video archives. I think these 15 are really the most important recent videos that I think you should watch. So hopefully, guys, that's helpful. Always stay inquisitive and go green out there. I'll talk to you soon. Okay, guys, so we're getting ready to go here. We have about a minute to go, and Charlie's handling the chat, so she'll be letting them know and answering their questions if they're struggling, although they can see me. I can't really see all of their screens. I can see some of them, though. So I'm hoping to see a lot of green up there, meaning profit. And we'll just see how it goes today, guys. It should be fun. Now, I don't know if I'm going to be calling a lot of little short trades. Kind of depends on the price action. This is a good move. Some of this down here would have been some really short trades because we are going to want to get some action in here. So we start 1/2 hour after market. I think I started to say that. 9:30 on the East Coast of the United States is when the market opens here. So that's 10 a.m. and we trade for a 1/2 hour. I never finished that. I interrupt myself all the time, but I don't think I finished telling you guys that. So here we go. We've got just a few seconds. And I'm telling you, I'm looking to buy off that fib, but I'm not 100% sure. Let's see if it bounces down here. Any few seconds, guys. I'm going to take that right there. Did I get in right? I got it in right on time. I got it at 70, 99.70, banking off of that fib. So we'll look for this line to turn around $200.04 roughly, and we'll do a reverse up there and try to take our first trade, just a 20, maybe a $20 trade. If we make it, it may fade off here, and if it does, I will reverse quicker if it breaks back through. Well, that was fast. Let's see what it's going to do here. A lot of shadow wicks happening, a lot of sensitive action. So let's look at the market maker here to see what they're going to give us and what's really happening. That's what I'm watching. Sometimes it's hard for the platform to keep up. It almost hit $200. We're looking at $200 as a serious resistance, guys. That area, maybe it'll punch a little higher. Let's see. But basically, right around the $200 mark, I'm looking to reverse. Obviously, everybody takes their own trades. They're responsible for everything. I am not a licensed financial advisor. So, yep, it dropped. It didn't even make it to the 200. Huh? It just dropped right off. So I think I missed it. Wow. That was... I'm just going to reverse, guys. I'm going to take that 21 bucks and we'll go from there. So I have it at 199.92. Ouch. Broke it after I flipped out. So that hurt. Okay, so we lost our $20 profit. I should have hung out a little longer, but it did seem like it was rejecting. So I'm looking to turn around long again here, guys. Looks like we're going to have a little bit of some finicky price action here. So let me see if I can get this going the other direction here. Try to get this long again. Take a smaller loss if it can get it down there a little bit. No, it is not going back down where I want it to go. I'm going to take it right there, guys, so that at least I bank 16. So I'm right at the 200 mark, looking for it to bounce above. So maybe up to, oh God, it's already there where I want it. I was thinking about 220. And there it is. I'm just going to take that. So 217, so made 33, so we're 1/3 of our way to $100. If I don't lose it here. So I was looking to bank off that 218 level. I got it at $200.17. So I'm really looking for some bigger moves here because this is going to be hard to scalp this out. But, you know, we did okay. If you followed me, and it's hard to follow me, I'm playing these levels. I do not have any indicators telling me what to do here. So I am truly playing the RV strategy, except the EMA crossover down here is saying up. Multi-chart alignment all says up, and yet I'm going short off this level. So, you know, you're going back and forth on what you see here. But often an even amount like $200 and you know, is a definite drop, a retracement of upward price action. So let's see if it does that, because that's often what you get. It might just bounce in here, which means I need to think about flipping around long again. If it breaks back through the if it breaks back through the 18, I will flip around again and go the other direction. But here we go. Let's see if it can break down back through the 200 and give us some play down here, maybe down to the Fibonacci. Now, this is a Fibonacci level. I am going to highly respect that because the crowd most likely will highly respect this level. So we want to look at that level. Oh, it's going back up. Shoot, I could have snagged another 10 or 20 bucks and then, you know, then wrote it back up and reversed it again. I hope this is not what we're going to get all day. Oh, man. This is not what I want all day here. So let's we're just going to play it. This is going to be should be fun because we don't have a lot on the table, guys. So I mean, it depends on your perspective, I know, but I'm hoping to show you guys some bigger moves here. Look at those coming in. That's from the market magnet. See that? So that typically means a push upward. There's the magnet. So that acts like a springboard, but I'm also seeing the crossover down here on the 5-minute. Wow. That is the magnet pulled right back down. Well, it's very inconsistent. It's going down. I'm looking for that fib level, guys. I'm going to try to reverse. Let's see how close I can get it there. I'm going to take it there. What did I get it at? 69. So I'm going to bank that money. Of course, it keeps going. We broke right inside the market magnet there. This is telling you that price action is going to go up. So I am concerned about continuing to play that short. This is prior price action where people bought And there's a lot of it coming in here off this magnet. So when it pulled that magnet up once, I kind of wanted to flip right then. I hung out for the fib, but you see that red arrow. You can't see it here. It looks like it popped under, unless that's the candlestick. I heard yeah, there was the MACD saying it's going to go down. There it goes. There's the magnet up again. So I'm long biased. Multi-chart alignment is long. EMA is long. And we're at least looking for the 204, maybe the 218. Let's see how this plays out. It just died here. We don't have a real lot of volume. This is going to tell you see, this was less volume. The last one was 154. Yeah, buy sell oscillator also says turn it around. So we've got multiple signals that say we're at our high here. That magnet's telling me no. The EMA crossover says no. Multi-chart alignment is all up except the most current candle, 5-minute candle here. So let's just see what we got here. No real patterns to go by. There's a hangman back on the 5-minute, which didn't hold. They're forming another hangman here. See, MACD says up, buy sell oscillator says down. We broke the 200 for a second. There's 204, 205. Getting ready to reverse here, guys. Unless that magnet, see that magnet's way up here now. Telling you guys, this is more the level to turn around where the arrows are, like up in the $230 plus range up here. But there it goes again. So very interesting. I'm going to reverse. I don't like it. Yeah, I missed the bigger money up here. It went down. It did. Those arrows were telling us what to do. I thought it might pull up here higher, but it did not. So, wow. And did it go down? It's going to break. That's at 50 cents. So that's when you'd think about turning around at the 50 cent. Even in half dollars, guys, are levels that you want to think about what's going to happen with that candle, because it broke that fib too. So it broke the fib, then it had a $0.50 down there that it turned around right on the VWAP. This is the VWAP, that's the 20, and that's the 9. We kept it pretty simple for everybody. Man, really? I lost that trade again. These are tight little corners here, guys. I should have turned around down there. I keep calling them wrong. You guys are, a couple of you are ahead of me. Good. That's good. Just going for a couple $100 in 30 minutes or less. Let's see if we can do it. We just have 100 shares, so that's 2 points. That's all we're trying to get. See if we can go back down to the 50 cent again. There's 53. 50 right there. Oh, it broke it. 48 for a second, 47. See price action coming below the magnet. It might pull it down, which would then be, and we lost our trend up, and multi-chart alignments all red. Well, no, it just turned some green. Buy sell oscillator said to go up here. That level's at about 99.43 cents. It's staying below the 50 cent mark, so I'm kind of intrigued if it can break lower. It's a good trade. I don't want to lose this trade for this amount of share size. That's a lot of money. Oh, there it goes. It did break it. So let's look for the 35 cents. See how hard it hits that. That's the next level. Went to 39. It didn't get down to the 35. This may be it. 33. Wow, it broke right through it. So I'm going to hang a little lower to like the 99.20 level. And that's probably where I'm going to. There's 25. I'm just going to take that, guys. I got it at 25. We're at the bottom of the magnet, and it did not pull down. So I am slightly concerned that it's going to turn around. So we got up to $138 the hard way. You could see the selling. Look at the scalping indicator. It's high here, but you see how the volume's gone down with the sellers. So that means there's less people interested in going down. So you got to keep an eye on these indicators. It's telling you there's not enough people sending this down. So the fact that the market magnet's right there, it's confirming that because these are the people that have just recently bought and sold. So it's telling you that for a large cap, it ranges at under 50%, not 70% like a lot of the volume profile does. So the market magnet's a little bit more accurate for large caps, and then just learning how to read it is very important. A lot of people do not read the volume profile for scalping. They learned one way and they just stuck with that way, and it just doesn't work for in my opinion. Don't send me nasty emails if you're one of those people. The important thing is what's working for you. What works for you might not be for other people. And so I'm looking at the 50 cents here. Yeah, level 2's messing up on me there. So I'm going to be looking at the market maker primarily here. So right at the 50 cents, it keeps breaking it though, up by the 20 and the 9 moving average, pulling up a little higher. It's a good trade. Maybe this will take us all the way back up to the fib. Wouldn't that be great? It seems like it hit the fib for a split second up there. I'm looking to reverse at the fib, guys. There was 65. So I want 70 here, 70 cents roughly on that market maker, somewhere in that area. 69, 70, 71. Just don't overstay my welcome. And that fib, a lot of people are going to reverse at that fib and go the other way, or jump in to go down there. Just depends on how it almost hit it. There it was. Oh, God, I missed it. Yeah, it was there for a second. And look at the price action coming in above and below. So, but I banked it, which is kind of important for a $200 goal. So if it keeps going up, I'm managing a bad position. If it keeps going up, wow, could have definitely got it higher there. I'll reverse it. I'll reverse it and go back up. Let's see, though. So the buying didn't go as high as the selling here. We did get a green crossover on the EMA VWAP, though. So let's see. See, they crossed over here. Then it's just a matter of, is it going up or down to turn it green or red? Because the crossover's already happened. So now you're looking at I misspoke one time when I explained this. Now you're looking at what is the candle direction on a 1 minute after it's done its crossover. So, yeah, MACD and buy-sell oscillator both told it down here. Buy-sell said go back up, which it spiked and then came down. Now we don't have any of those relative strength or other EMA, which are tighter, telling us a direction. We just have this market magnet, which pulled down right here. This is where all the action is. That's the center of the most volume. That's what that magenta line is. So it should be respected. People see it. They have different ways to see that data. A lot of them have the market magnet. A lot of the professionals do, but this is an indicator you have to purchase. So, and then some people use other ways. I like this best. It's worth the $25 at the $1 Million Margin Club. But you may not feel that way. So I feel like that's one trade. So that's why I like these indicators, because I look at it like it's short money to get the data that I need. And there's so many things to think about. Like I'd like to put in the half and whole dollar one, which marks every one, but it was too slow for these guys. It made their, most of them, not all of them, their platforms too slow because of how they were getting fed. They're all in a school. It's weird how you get the same latency, but yet some people's computers can like pick it up and handle it differently. Yeah, anywhere like in the 35 maybe. We broke because we broke the 200. Part of me just wants to bank it right now and just get back in it. I don't know. I can't remember if I actually had a bad trade at the beginning, if I lost money on a trade, or if I just lost profit I was making. I can't remember, but I feel pretty confident if I got out at 200 that I could stay above 200. So that's why I'm thinking like meet your goal and then move on. But it's kind of a dumb way to think because you want to make as much money as you can. You don't want to jump out just because it meets your goal. Mouse pad was literally falling off my desk here. Okay, let's see what we got here, guys. Is it going to stop here and turn around? It sure does look like it, huh? Okay, so our buy-sell oscillator, it turned green right there for a second. That was the buy-sell oscillator turning it around. Kind of wish I would have seen that. I didn't see it till it was too late. Then I could have captured this volume going. I'm trying to also not do a zillion little tiny scalps because if I rode that long, I'd want to reverse it again to go short. I'm only slipping a penny or two, I think. So when I reverse, we're right at the fib there too, guys. So that's very, very, very tempting. Except there it goes. It broke down to 38. Is it going to break that 35? Wow, it did. It broke right through it, 28. All right, so we'll ride this a little further. I'd like to see that magnet pull down. 20, 26, 24. Wow. 22. Is it going to break that 20 line? Oscillator saying no. It told it to turn around there. According to the data, this is the end of this move. But multi-chart alignment's down. I hate to get out prematurely on these things. 28 again. I don't want to see it go like up to 40 or something like that. So we'll get ready to pocket some of this if it starts to keep going up here. Otherwise, I'll hold the move a little longer, guys. Looking to hold it a little longer. It does seem to have turned around here. So nope. Right when I thought, oh, there it goes. Now it's going back up. Okay. Is that it, really? Oh, there it goes. I looked away and it was suddenly all the way back down. Wow. 21. Okay, so it's making another surge down. I would definitely, at the even dollar, I would absolutely turn around at 199 down there if it happens to get there, just so you guys know what I'm thinking. There's a big gap there that would take it from 99.20 all the way down to 99. That means there's not a lot of historical buyers and sellers between that 20 cents, so it might just slip right down there. Be ready to act fast if it does. And of course, it could keep going, but you just manage a bad position and flip around again. Let's see. It's just stopped at, whoa, 10, 09, 08, 07. Wow, I should have grabbed it. Oh, I should have grabbed it there, 07. I think that might have been our low. Let's see. Any lower? I'm going to, this time. Oh, God. Wow. My finger was off pushing on the plastic, not the, and I would have got out at a much worse position than that. So that was good. Get ready to just go back short again, guys, if you followed me along on the long. Not trusting this to keep going up, frankly. I'm just looking to see if we can get to that 20 cents. It's losing its way up there. There's more sellers than buyers. It's just, there's the 20 cents. Oh, I'm just going to reverse right there and pocket that to 264. Yeah, I got short in there. Some of you are still long. I'm at 99.20, 199.20, going short. Yeah, I mean, the move is definitely down here. So the crossover's down here. See that? But now the buyers are pretty strong on this. So way over 200. So we shouldn't drop below that now, unless I terribly mismanage this. Oscillator saying go up too. And that could be just a short-term spike of, 20 cents, and then it's done. So you got to, understand how these are working today. They're really tight parameters on these MACD and the buy-sell oscillator. I'm tending to look at the lines and the overall picture, the levels, support and resistance levels. You look at every one of these levels like a shackle, and when it breaks through that, it wants to pull it back down. Plus, it's just a good idea to just constantly think of price action going up and going back down, going up and going back down. And if it stair steps up, you usually have a time to get out for a lesser loss and go, hey, it's not going back down. It's stair stepping up. It's going back down a little bit. And so, but you try to wait for those moves if you can. That's why the channel trading can help you. We only have about 7 minutes left of the 30 minutes. Most of us have broken the 200. It's just like 3 people that aren't over 200. So that's really good news. Everybody's doing really good. See this price action coming in below the magnet? That is going to pull this down, guys. Watch this magnet go down. These arrows will shift down here. That's what should happen. I don't know if it's going to, because as soon as I call it out, it seems to go, nah. Go ahead, call a number. Let us embarrass you. But typically, these are very, very accurate, and that's one of the reasons I was saying, well, we should use at least these 3 if your computer can handle it. We see where the whole and half dollars are, so we don't really need that. We put the multi-chart alignment over on the 5-minute chart, so it's kind of a glance, but that's okay. Apple's a pretty slow moving stock, so we don't have to worry too much about fast moves. Here we go. Yeah, I know, the 99, it wasn't an area I wasn't even looking. I was thinking that that's where I was going to reverse, but now I'm not thinking that because of how it's strong, it broke it. So magnets down here, we're at the bottom of the level, and a lot of people here, a lot of people bought and sold right here, but it didn't pull the magnet. You'd think the average would spring down here. I'd like to see that spring down to stay in this move. Otherwise, we might want to get long again. Let's see. Oscillators aren't helping us much. Oh, that just pulled down, didn't it? I was looking away. All right. All right, that's good. Now it's kind of, the volume will go up for a second to meet it, but then often, it starts to go back down right after that. So I thought that pulled down, didn't it? Yeah, this is continuing to pull down. So this is good news. This is a short move. We should hang on to this, guys. This is the magnets telling us go down with it. So that's what we're going to do. See if it keeps pushing the parameters down. We've got the crossover is now red, going down. Crossed it over again right there. And then it just has been going down since then, so it's red now. Our multi-chart alignment is almost all red, but the 4-hour, we've got a good trade. We're almost at 300 if you're following along. Yeah, the volume went up to this on the sellers, and it almost got to the top of the column, which is good news. 100%. 100%. Look at that. So you're getting on a surfboard and you're riding the wave, the momentum. You just can see it happening with the scalping indicator. Yeah, if you don't have this, get this. And then I would get the market magnet, the MACD, and the buy sell oscillator. Those are all good. You can always mark the whole $0.50. You don't need to spend the money. It's convenient because it's every stock, every time increment. You know, when you can put it on. So it's just. So we're having a good day. I'm holding this longer till I see something that says don't. So the 50 cents maybe at the 50 cents. Let's see. Yeah, it hit it and turned around. So I don't want to, this is a really good trade. I'm not going to let this drop below 300. If it starts to turn around, let's see what it's doing here. So now you see me trade with higher share size, a lot. This is specifically for people that can't afford that are looking to not risk as much. Look at that, it broke the 50 cents. Look at the fib next, guys. Look at the fib down here. We got a double fib level down there, so this is hard to break. So we don't want to, you know, I'm going to reverse at those fibs either way. Yeah, I'm just going to take that right there. What did I get that at? 31. So I'm right in between the two. Bank that for 358. Just outstanding. And then we are almost out of time here. So let's see if we can actually reel, not shadow wick, get back up to the 50 cents if that's at all possible. Or it's just going to keep going down. I'm just going to get out. If it keeps going down, guys, I'm not going to reverse. I'm just going to get out. We're almost at time. We have a little over a minute and a half. So we have done well, exceeded our expectations with Apple, and just 100 shares in 30 minutes. So now you add this up, you got 15, $1,750 a week. You have a living for most people. Learn the strategy, take it slow in a simulator. Be careful, follow your max loss per trade. Because I could have had, most people should expect, 60 to 70% accurate, not 95 to 100% accurate like me. But, when you start to do it for a while, you can really see the future and get more accurate. But so that if you don't get out when you've called it wrong, that's where you can get hurt. So don't try to get every trade. It just doesn't work that way. Let's see. Yeah, I should have just got out, I think. This thing doesn't spike in a second. I'm just going to lick my wounds on this last trade here. I was hoping it might retrace, bounce off the fibs a little bit. We only got about 30 seconds, so we'll trade to the end of this time increment here. I'm just going to get out. That was it right there. So 360. That's not bad. So everybody's going to take screenshots for Charlie. You got to get out. You're on a new minute. So you can come back and trade, take your screenshot, and then go back on if you want. So that we can keep track of everybody because there's a little competition going. But anyway, guys, that is the art. You got to get out. You can't keep trading. And then just get back in again. So is he... Oh, they're taking their screenshots while they're trading. I guess you could do that and stay in the position. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. I'm used to everybody wiping the clean slate there, but whatever. We're all here to make money, right? I just want it to be fair for everybody in the competition because they have little side things going for charity. But anyway, okay, guys, thanks for watching. So this is one way to trade, which is range bound. And it's a pretty cool way to trade, I think. So learn the RV strategy, get that day trading volume 1. Think about that open strategy. They say that's like printing money. That's in the day trading volume 4. As you get into it and you're not doing as well, it's a perfect time to read Trading in the Zone. I'll have a link to that book too, Mark Douglas. And then if you're looking for holding a little bit longer and trading a little bit differently, Tom Hougaard, Best Loser Wins, another good book. I have a link to that as well. And then I'll have a link to the $1 Million Margin Club, which sells all the indicators for like $25. And I know that they have a package that's the pro one. That's like, it's on a special sale where you get like 13 indicators and the pro layout. That's wicked cool. You got to make sure your computer speed and your line from the street doesn't have a lot of latency. But if you have a pretty fast computer, that is an amazing indicator, and you're going to want to trade with it in a sim first and practice, but that's what the prop firms use. So you look for that. That's a really good one. And I know that if you're still here, I know the $1 Million Club has a special deal. If you've got their books and you've read their books and like them, if you give a review, each book you get a review for, you can pick a free indicator for, and they have a lot of books. So you might want to do that. It's a good way to learn. And I also encourage you to log. And then every once in a while, remember, put it on notification for us, because I do give away free scripts, at least 1 or 2 a month, and they only are up for 24 to 48 hours. So you're going to want to make sure you have your notifications on so you can get that opportunity to do that. And I guess that's about it, guys. So thanks for tuning in. Always stay inquisitive out there, and go green. All right, and I'll see you soon.